Today on Sugar Spun Run, I'll be showing you how to make chocolate buttercream frosting. Hey Sugar Spun Bakers! Today I'm sharing a chocolate version of my classic American buttercream frosting. I shared that video a little while ago. A lot of you have asked me how to make it a chocolate version. It's very simple, so today I'm going to show you exactly how to do just that. Now I'm going to be using my stand mixer today. You could do this in a hand mixer or using a hand mixer instead. Either is completely fine. Now the first ingredient that you'll need is 2 sticks or 1 cup of unsalted butter, and you want this to be softened to room temperature. I'm going to be adding these to the bowl of my stand mixer. Now I really love using unsalted butter in most of my recipes because we'll be adding the salt to taste. Now this gives us better control over the amount of salt in our recipe and more importantly over the taste of our icing. Now let's go ahead and just cream this butter with our mixer until it's smooth and creamy. Now you want to cream the butter first because if it's not completely softened, what could happen is you could have some butter lumps in there that are just kind of hard to beat out of the frosting. You could end up with a slightly lumpy frosting that could be hard to pipe, so we're just going to cream the butter first. Now our butter looks pretty good, so let's move on to our next ingredient, the powdered sugar. You will need 3½ cups of powdered sugar for this recipe. To start, I'm just going to add about half of this into the bowl of my stand mixer. Now we're going to be using cocoa powder to make this buttercream into a chocolate buttercream. You can use either natural or Dutch processed cocoa, either is fine. Today I'm using a natural cocoa powder. Now if you really want to enhance the chocolate flavor here, a pinch of espresso powder would be a great addition. I'm not going to be adding that today, but I am going to be adding a pinch of salt. This is just an 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and you can see I got a little cocoa powder in there. I'm also going to be adding our vanilla extract. Even though this is a chocolate buttercream, the vanilla gives you a nice depth of flavor. It just wouldn't have quite the same flavor if you left out this flavoring. And this is just 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We're also going to be adding some heavy cream to this recipe. Now you'll need about 2 to 4 tablespoons of heavy cream total, but for starters, we're just going to add 2 tablespoons. If you don't have heavy cream, milk will work instead, but since milk is thinner, you'll want to start with just a little bit less. Start with just 1 tablespoon of milk. You'll want to start mixing all of your ingredients together on low speed. This is to keep the sugar and the cocoa powder from flying all over your kitchen. If you're using a hand mixer, you definitely want to keep the mixer on low speed, trust me. Now, if you're using a stand mixer, you can use my favorite trick, which is to take a clean kitchen towel and just drape it over the mixer and the bowl. And then still you want to start with your mixer on low speed, but you can gradually increase the speed to medium. All right, let's take a look at it. So far, so good. So if you're using a hand mixer, you will just keep your mixer on low speed and gradually add more powdered sugar. I am going to just add the rest of my powdered sugar here because I'm going to use my towel trick. And even though we are using a stand mixer here and we're using this fancy towel trick, I do still recommend adding the sugar in 2 parts because otherwise your towel will be covered in powdered sugar and when you take it off, it'll just be a mess. So I still recommend adding the sugar in parts. All right, so everything is pretty much combined. As you can probably tell from looking at it, we're not quite done yet. There's some sugar stuck to the bottom, so I'm going to just take my spatula and scrape the sides and bottom of the bowl, and then we'll mix everything again. Now here's where you'll decide if you need to add more heavy cream or not. This frosting is pretty stiff and I want a thinner frosting. I want it to be better for spreading because I'm going to be using it on a layer cake. So I'm going to add additional heavy cream. I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon at a time. So we'll start with 1 tablespoon. And I will gradually increase my mixer speed from slow to high and just whip that cream in there for about 15 seconds on high speed. And whipping the cream in there does lighten the color of your frosting for sure. Just something to keep in mind if you're looking for a particular color to your frosting. So this I actually want to make a little bit thinner, and you do want to taste test your frosting. This could use a little bit more salt, so I'm going to add just another pinch of salt as well. All right, this is actually perfect for me. The taste is good, the texture is silky smooth, and just perfect for spreading over a cake. If you would like, you can absolutely add a little bit more cream, another tablespoon at a time, or if you make your frosting accidentally too thin, you can add more powdered sugar, so it's pretty hard to mess this one up. But this is perfect for me, so I'm going to go ahead and spread it on a cake now. Now this chocolate buttercream recipe will frost a 2-layer 8-inch or 9-inch round cake. It'll frost a 9 by 13-inch sheet cake. It will also generously frost a dozen cupcakes, or if you're just spreading the frosting on top, it'll cover 24 cupcakes. And that is how easy it is to make a chocolate buttercream frosting. I hope you guys enjoyed today's super easy recipe, and if you try this one out, please let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. It's good icing.